All right, so we are going to go ahead and get started with our essential oils and romance class tonight. So I hope you have your glass of wine and your notepad and your pen, and we will get started. And then also, I'm kind of excited tonight because I have my husband here that I harangued
Oh, I'm glad to be here.
into doing this presentation with me. So this is us. I'm Catherine, and that's Robert. We are both originally from Colorado, but we have lived in the Boston area for about 4 years now. And since this is a essential oils and romance class, we'll kind of talk a little bit about how we met. Do you want to tell that story?
Sure, sure. Uh, we met. It was actually I was going into my junior year of college, and I was coming back from a weekend away, and I went to meet some friends of mine late in the evening at a Carrabba's restaurant. If you've never been to a Carrabba's restaurant, it's an Italian chain. Pretty good food. You'd probably enjoy it. But as we were sitting there talking, me and my friends, this beautiful server
Oh my
came
goodness.
up to me and started talking. We started talking just a little bit, just small talk, and I asked her if I don't
Well,
know
so
why she
so
gave me her phone
long
number.
story short, he was incredibly dorky in his execution, and so he seemed harmless, so I gave him my phone number. But as a waitress, you often get just kind of random people that ask for your phone number, so I kind of got used to giving my wrong phone number. And so in this case, we still have the napkin that I started writing the wrong phone number, and last minute I crossed it out and wrote the right one. So that's kind of our story, and we'll actually be married almost 10 years in June. We have a 5-year-old daughter. Um, but I can say now that we have some years of marriage under our belt, it is kind of hard to keep that spark
Keep
alive.
that fire.
Yes, you just get so weighed down with everything in life, and it really is a challenge to make your relationship um, a priority. And so I'm really glad that we have essential oils, something natural that we can turn to kind of help us do that. And we've been using essential oils for about 4 years, and it's just been great to be able to have a natural alternative to turn to for our family's health needs, to be able to create natural hygiene products, natural cleaning products. We just love them, and it took my husband, it took Robert a little while to get on board, but once he did get on board, he loves oils as much as I do, which is really exciting. So per the FDA, I have to give this statement with this disclaimer that the statements have not been evaluated by the FDA and the products mentioned are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent disease. The FDA only allows drugs to make those types of claims, and essential oils are not drugs. So I'm not going to make those claims. So I don't want to go really into detail about this, but it is important, so I do want to mention it. It's so important because we are putting essential oils on our skin, we're breathing them in. Sometimes we're putting them in our mouth internally, and so it's really important that the essential oils that we're using are pure. And unfortunately, the essential oil industry is not very
Fickle sometimes.
they like to cut corners a lot. And so a lot of times you don't know if you're really getting a pure essential oil or not. Pure essential oils can be expensive. And so a lot of companies will do what they need to cut costs. So I really love that doTERRA, their founders, are really committed to the purity of their oils. They wanted to create a product that they felt comfortable using on their children. And so they do really thorough testings on all their oils, testing for the um, not only the therapeutic benefit of their oils, but also just the safety of their oils. So they test for heavy metals, for pesticides, for other chemical residues, for any type of bacteria or anything getting in the oil. And if they fail any of those tests, then doTERRA throws them out. They don't sell them. So I really appreciate that, so I can feel comfortable using essential oils on my daughter and on us, and I know that it's pure. And another great thing about doTERRA that I want to touch on is their co-impact sourcing, and they source oils from all over the world, wherever their most therapeutic benefit is, and they sign exclusive contracts with family-owned farms and co-ops. and that makes sure that the farmers are getting fair wages for the work that they do, and doTERRA pays them on time, and so it's kind of like a fair trade.
Yeah, it's
Um,
like the fair trade version of essential oil.
mhm. So I really appreciate that about doTERRA. So kind of a quick, brief history of essential oils. Do you kind of want to go into that a little bit?
Sure, sure. Um,
Robert's a
so
history buff.
so a little bit of history, specifically on essential oils and romance. If you're a nerd like me and you read classical literature, you will find that it is essential oils are mentioned a lot, whether that's olive oils or coconut oils or frankincense and myrrh. You read about them pretty frequently. They're known for their health, their beauty, fertility aspects of them, virility. Katie didn't believe me that was a word, and I looked it up. It is.
What does virility
It's
mean?
like manliness or like sex drive. It increases. They increase virility. And for you biblical scholars, Song of Solomon, Solomon actually talks about
Yeah.
essential oils.
Actually, in chapter 4, it's kind of a cool. It's a really kind of a cool book of the Bible, but in chapter 4 specifically, Solomon is like talking about the beauty of his bride, and he goes into all these details about how beautiful she is and compares them to, Giselles and pomegranates and all these crazy things. But he also makes mention of how good she smells, and he mentions that she smells like amazing cinnamon and perfume, and he mentions myrrh and frankincense and all these different essential oils. And so even, back then, when, that's written over 2000 years ago, the sense of smell was important then too. And I would hope so, because we know back then they didn't take that as much
Yeah.
as we do now. So it was important to cover up those smells with something that actually smelled good.
And they'll see in the traditional use of essential oils and this traditional importance of essential oils have carried forward even into today, obviously. As you can see here in Indonesia, it's very customary to put fresh ylang ylang flowers in the wedding bed to kind of help get the newly married couple going. We still use rose petals, and so just this idea of the smells and these natural fragrances was important to them in history past, and certainly important to us today.
Mm-hmm. All right, so next we're going to talk about aphrodisiacs. And aphrodisiac, the word actually came from Greek mythology and the Greek goddess Aphrodite, which was the goddess of love. Um, and then when you look up the definition of aphrodisiac, it's a substance that's used to increase sexual desire or enjoyment. And we know that the sense of smell is very important, to kind of getting us in the mood. And some of the popular essential oils, that are known for aphrodisiacs are dark woods, so sandalwood, Hawaiian sandalwood, frankincense, myrrh, are all common ones. And then warming spices, so cinnamon and cassia. Cassia is actually a cousin of cinnamon. It smells very similar. Cinnamon is slightly sweeter than cassia. And then we have ginger and clove as well. And then citrus essential oils that are known to be aphrodisiacs are bergamot, wild orange, and grapefruit are the most popular. And I actually looked up a study, and the Science of Smell did a study for men, and they gave them all these different scents to smell, and what turned them on the most tended to be cinnamon and wild orange, which I thought was kind of interesting. Um, but then again, everybody has different preferences, and so you just kind of have to figure out what works for you.
I, I
Um,
really, I really like cinnamon quite a bit.
yeah, Robert likes cinnamon, and he really likes cedarwood, I've
Yeah.
noticed. And surprisingly, because generally you don't really like florally smelling
Mm-hmm.
oils, but you really like ylang ylang.
I do. Yeah.
And ylang ylang is kind of the one of the hallmarks of
Like romance and love and
yeah.
yeah.
And then some female aphrodisiacs can be bergamot, sandalwood, and again ylang ylang. And I saw another study that was done by Oxford University, And they actually took college women and gave them headshots of different guys. So some guys were more attractive than others. But when they would show a certain headshot, they would also give a smell, and it would be a good smell or a bad smell. And so, long story short, the guys that were maybe not so handsome looking, if they also introduced that face with a pleasant smell, they actually would say that those men looked more handsome than maybe they normally would be. So the sense of smell is very important.
So that's how I got you.
I must have smelled like Lang and sandalwood, not Italian food. And then some great blends that doTERRA actually specifically makes. Whisper is a good one, and it's the women's blend, and it contains bergamot and ylang ylang, patchouli, jasmine, cinnamon, Hawaiian sandalwood. So some of those oils that we already talked about. But what's unique about Whisper is it's kind of like a individualized perfume. So once that essential oil blend is on your wrist, it kind of blends with your natural chemistry and it creates a unique personal fragrance. So Whisper will smell different on everybody. So personally, I don't really like the way Whisper smells on me. But one of my best friends, I smelt it on her a few months ago, and I didn't realize it was Whisper, and I was like, "What are you wearing? That smells amazing." So the Whisper on her doesn't smell anything like it does on me, um, which is definitely pretty interesting. And then also another great blend is Passion. It's the Inspiring Blend, and it's a newer blend that doTERRA came out with this summer, actually. And it has cinnamon and ginger, sandalwood, jasmine, and vanilla bean. And you love that one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
It's
I
like one of
really
your
like that one.
favorites. It took me a while to actually like Passion, but now it's really grown on me. I like it. And it's really fun to cook with essential oils. There's a lot of essential oils that are according to the FDA, are safe to be taken internally if that essential oil is pure. And wild orange, peppermint, and cinnamon are all safe to be taken internally. Um, and a really great dessert and romantic dessert, I think, is chocolate covered strawberries. Like if I were to think of all the different desserts, I think that's the most romantic. Um, but it's really easy to just take fresh strawberries, take a bag of your favorite chocolate. So mine would be like semi sweet chocolate chips, and just add a few drops of like peppermint or cinnamon, wild orange.
Kick it up a notch.
Yeah, and just dip the strawberry in there, put it on parchment paper, and put it in the refrigerator, and you're done. And you have a romantic dessert that's really quick and that you can really enjoy. Champagne with a drop of wild orange in it is really tasty.
Mm-hmm. It's like a mimosa almost.
Hmm. And then also, if you haven't tried essential oil tea, I highly recommend it. It's so good. You just take about a tablespoon of honey, and then you add, my favorite is doing 1 drop of cinnamon and 2 drops of wild orange, and then you put hot water in there, and it is so good. And cinnamon actually naturally kind of increases your body temperature, and it also encourages circulation. And we know that when you're kind of getting into the mood, that our body temperatures do rise, so those are all kind of good ways to kind of get our bodies prepared. So after you've had your romantic dinner that's loaded with garlic and onions and your breath doesn't smell so good anymore,
You just want to kiss.
you just want to kiss with your garlic breath. Um, but mint essential oils, spearmint and peppermint are great for oral health, but also really great for just freshening your breath. So you can just put a drop on your tongue and kind of let it dissolve, and instantly your mouth is cooled and you have fresh breath. I also really like to put a drop of peppermint on my toothbrush with my toothpaste sometimes and brush, and just feels like my teeth get a lot cleaner and my breath is just awesome. I don't know. Have you ever done that?
I haven't. I should try that.
So now that we've kind of talked about different ways that you can use essential oils for cooking and that are known aphrodisiacs and to get that awesome breath, that kissable fresh breath, we're going to talk about setting the mood. And for those of you that don't have diffusers, it's really simple just to take an empty spray bottle, fill some water, fill it with some clean water, and then add whatever essential oils you like, and you can spray that on linen, on lingerie. You can use it as a room spray, so that's a really quick and easy way to get the benefits of essential oils and not have a diffuser. So for romantic diffuser blends, you kind of want to ask yourself what's calming, warming, and arousing, and that's how you're going to know what to diffuse. And some calming essential oils are citrus oils. So again, bergamot, wild orange, grapefruit are good ones. Floral oils would be like ylang ylang, clary sage, lavender, jasmine rose, if you are lucky enough to own those oils. Um, the kind of woodsy smelling oils, so again, sandalwood, Hawaiian sandalwood, frankincense,
Cedarwood.
cedarwood in Robert's case. And you can kind of mix those oils together, and a lot of times it's just fun to experiment. Um, and again, too, with the warming oils, remember, guys like the warming, they tend to like the warming oil, so the cinnamon, cassia, clove, and then arousing mints, the spearmint, the peppermint, and the cypress. And if you're not really in a experimental mood and you just want to put something in the diffuser and know that it smells good, passion is a good one just to have in the diffuser. Robert really likes cypress and sandalwood together. It's kind of like
it's like a sweet,
it's like a musty, I don't know,
like a sweet woodsy smell, like the woods after it rains or something. It's super super nice.
And then I really like Citrus Bliss, which is a bunch of different citrus oils with a hint of vanilla, and then the Lang Lang together I really like. And then also doTERRA came out with this diffuser blend that smells like you're on a tropical island vacationing, which, can't get any more romantic than that.
Yeah, because sometimes it's not necessarily these specific oils that are known aphrodisiacs, but maybe it's like a memory of something, and maybe a blend like Tahiti reminds you of being on the beach on your honeymoon, and so it's really up to the taste of the individuals and what they really like.
So another great way to kind of bring romance is taking a nice hot Epsom salt bath. Um, in our case, we don't really take much baths together. Robert's 6'4", so he doesn't fit in the tub alone, let alone with another person in there with him.
There aren't many tubs that can contain
no,
me.
But I do take a lot of baths on my own, and if you're lucky enough to have a huge tub or you don't have a giant husband, you can take a nice bath together. But I absolutely love Epsom salts and essential oil mixed together in the bath. It is so calming and relaxing. You just take a cup of Epsom salt and then add 10 to 15 drops of your favorite oil.
And the Epsom salt it absorbs the oil. Once it gets into the water, it helps diffuse the oil into the water. So it's just a good medium by which to get the oil into the water and the scent into the water.
Yeah, it incorporates better that way. But my favorite one to add is the Aromatouch oil. And then also lavender and wild orange together are really nice and really relaxing. And then massage. Yay. I love massages. I don't get them very often, but I ask for them often. You are getting better.
Yeah.
Thank you
for that, by the way.
No, but the power of touch is so important, and massage is a great way to show somebody that you love and care for them. And the Aromatouch blend is the massage blend, and it contains cypress and peppermint, marjoram, grapefruit, and lavender, and it kind of has like some of those cooling oils in there, so it's just really, I absolutely love Aromatouch. It's hands down one of my favorite oils. And then Deep Blue is another really great one for massage, and that's great for relaxing sore muscles and joints, and it also kind of has a warming and cooling effect, so it kind of reminds me of like icy hot.
Mm-hmm.
It has wintergreen, peppermint, blue tansy, and helichrysum. And actually, I think that's your favorite.
Yeah, that's my favorite. I cycle a little bit, and so that's always nice to have around, the Deep Blue.
Mm-hmm. And then you can either use fractionated coconut oil or solid coconut oil. I prefer the fractionated coconut oil. It doesn't have any coconut smell. and it gets absorbed into the skin quicker than the solid does. Especially if you're like giving a massage in bed. If you're using the solid coconut oil, it can get onto the sheets and stain, which is kind of a pain. Whereas the fractionated coconut oil, it does not stain clothing, which is really great.
It evaporates over time.
Mm-hmm. And then if you're looking, hint, hint, for some great ways to learn how to give great massages, I mean, you can learn just about anything from YouTube. And so that's a great resource. And Howcast massage techniques, if you Google that on YouTube, or look up, you can't Google that on YouTube, but if you
Google owns YouTube, so
well,
yeah, search for it on YouTube. Howcast massage techniques.
Mm-hmm. And that'll give you some great techniques to use when you give a massage. So next we're going to go to personal lubricant, and the more I kind of looked into what they put into popular personal lubricants, there's just a lot of junk and chemicals in there. And actually, one of the most popular brands starts with a K, ends with a Y, actually includes parabens in their popular personal lubricant. And parabens mimic estrogen, and then it disrupts our body's natural hormones, which is not good at all.
So actually, the thing that it's designed to help you do, it hinders you from doing it.
Well, yeah, potentially in the future. So using natural carrier oils is the better way to go. So I like the fractionated coconut oil. Like I said, it absorbs quickly and it's easy. But you could also use like sweet almond oil or apricot oil. I mean, really whatever oil that you like best. And you could just use the oil by itself, but adding essential oils can be really great. So you can add warming oils if you like that warming sensation. So cinnamon, cassia, or clove. Cooling oils, which is peppermint, spearmint, and cypress. I prefer the cooling oils.
Me too.
You prefer the cooling? And I know KY used to have like a his and hers, and I think the his was cooling and the hers was warming. So you could do something opposite like that, or you could both do the same. So I mean, it really just goes down to preference.
And remember, especially with the cooling and the warming oils, a little goes a very long way.
Yes. So a very conservative way to use this would be 1 tablespoon per 1 drop of essential oil.
1 tablespoon of oil
of carrier oil, yeah.
Carrier oil.
Mm-hmm. To 1 drop of essential oil, and that's a good place to start because obviously you're putting that on a sensitive area, and you don't want it to be too intense. So
that could ruin the mood too.
Yes, that could ruin the mood very quickly. So for me, I feel like I can do more, like half a teaspoon to probably oil. But again, start conservatively and kind of just work to where it works for you. And then two, if you do notice that it is sensitive or it's too intense for you, make sure that you add oil on top of it. Do not add water because water will intensify that and make it burn or feel cooling more. So just add
more of
the carrier oil, and that will help
relieve
the sensitivity. Also, an important note: if you use condoms, you cannot use oil-based.
Essential oil.
Well, not essential oil, but just any oil-based lubricant. So too bad you can't do that. So it will
deteriorates the rubber.
So you don't want to do that. Do we have anything else to say about this? Oh yeah, Aroma Touch is my absolute favorite to combine with the coconut oil.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Is that your favorite?
Yeah.
Or do you like cinnamon?
Nah, largely because I'm hesitant to put cinnamon too close to the nether regions.
But you've done that. It's not. Yeah. If you follow the 1 tablespoon carrier oil per 1 drop, you'll be fine.
Aroma Touch is nice because it's split up enough. Like the oils that are in it the combination is very nice, and so you're just never worried about it, and it feels nice.
Yeah, and too, if you don't want any cooling or warming sensations, a really great oil to use would be bergamot, and bergamot is it's just a really lovely smelling scent, and it's also known as the essential oil of self-acceptance, and so that's just kind of a good oil, I think, to have for romance. And you can kind of see in this picture here that the fractionated coconut oil is not all the way up to the top, and doTERRA does that purposefully. So a 15 ml bottle of essential oil will fit perfectly in that bottle. So I knew one of my friends, she just takes a bottle of fractionated coconut oil and dumps an entire bottle of bergamot in there and keeps it on her nightstand, and that's their personal lubricant. So that would be a way to go as well.
Okay.
Mhm.
Cool.
All right, and then we'll go over some of the promotions this month. So 10% off Passion.
Well, first, thank you for listening to the to our talk about essential oils and romance.
Well,
Now,
we're not done yet, though.
well,
So you get 10% off Passion, and then also if you are a Loyalty Rewards member, and that's basically doTERRA's frequent flyer miles program. And so basically by making monthly orders, whatever amount, you can earn back product credit points to earn free oils of your choice. And if you're part of the Loyalty Rewards program, they also have something called the Product of the Month. And basically, if you spend 125 PV that month, you get the free product of the month. And this month, it happens to be Aromatouch, which is nice. And then also, this is kind of the best time of the year to sign up for doTERRA. It's New Year, New You. And when you sign up with a 100 PV enrollment order and then place a 100 PV LRP order the following month, so in March, you will get $100 in free oils of your choice. So basically, spend $200 in free or in oils, and you get $100 free oils. So that's a really great promotion to take advantage of. And you do need a class code for that. So if you or any of your family and friends are interested in that, just let me know and I can give you the code for that. So that concludes our class for tonight. Thank you so much for taking time to listen. I hope you learned. And if you have any questions about essential oils, about the promotions, or anything, please feel free to reach out. I have my email there, or you can call or text me. I'm also on Facebook. You can send me a message and I'll be happy to help you out.
yeah. Thank you guys very, very much. Appreciate you listening.
Oh, and then also, I don't know if any of you have questions, but we can.
If you do, we'll stay online.
We'll stay online just for a minute here. Okay, so we'll go ahead and end here. So thank you again for coming, and feel free to contact me if you have any questions. You want to say goodbye, Robert?
Bye.
And he's even waving at you.
Yeah,
you can't see it, but he's waving.